Show me love, make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me light, show me love, show me light, show me love. Make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me light, show me love. This is all we got. Show me light, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got.
Yes! I'm so happy. My opening song is like a jamming song. It really helps me. Like, you get a little anxiety before every episode starts. And then my song comes up and I'm like, all right, all right, all right, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm hyping myself up. What up, what up? Good morning, everybody. My beautiful people. I'm happy to have you here with me. If you're here live, we have the live chat. So please say hi. I want to hear from you always in the live chat. We have such a great show today. This show today is another one of What Would Lulu Do? And if you've been here before for those shows, or if you don't know a little bit about these shows, that's a show where I dedicate it to you guys. You sent me questions and I answer them. And I don't really get into your shoes because I can't. I always feel like to me, that's like the most stupidest idea of all. Like, try to walk a mile in their shoes. How? I have no clue about their life, what they've been through, what they're going through. So I'm not trying to answer it from your perspective. I'm only answering it from my perspective. If it would be me in that situation, what would I do? But I got a few personal questions too, or like general questions. So I mixed it up. I shared some of them on my social media. If you're in my social media, then you know that this is that I put a poll. And actually, if you're not on my social media, let's connect on social media. So find me. I did a poll on Instagram with the three top questions. Besides one question that I had, I also had three other questions. So I was asking you guys, and 57%, I think, of the answers chose question one. So that is our question today. I'm going to read the question in a little bit. But let's start here. Let's see. The chat is live. Good morning, Leonor. Good morning, beautiful. Thank you for being here. Hello from Israel. I was waiting all week. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, sis. There she is. Love you. Thank you so much for being here. If you're here, let me know that you're here. Where are you from? What's your name? What's going on? Today's show is all about living our truth. And let me tell you something. There's nothing more important than living in our truth to me personally. It's today is going to be one of those episodes where we're going to speak about the truth, the whole truth, or nothing but the truth. So help us. But truly, living in our truth is something that is so important and so powerful because it means we are living our divinity, right? We are not living into others' expectations. Hello, beautiful. Thank you for being here. We're not living other people's ideas of who we should be. When we live our truth, that means we are connected to our divine self. So, what does it mean to live in our truth? I would start with a quote. I always love the quotes, and this man is literally one of my favorite all-time philosopher, and he's just amazing. Google him, Mr. Ralph Waldo Emerson. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. I couldn't agree more. So what is living really in our truth? To me, it's the journey of constant self discovery and alignment to what we see that important to us, our values, our feelings, our thoughts. I'm going to start by saying, start, I've been talking for like what? 6 minutes already. I'm going to continue by saying that living in our truth is not like a one day thing, right? Or a one time thing. Oh, we find out our truth and that's it. We're living in it. No, it's a constant journey of, like I said, self discovery, because it really, our truth can change too. What my truth was for me 10 years ago is not necessarily what my truth is today. We evolve, we grow, we learn things, we go through different things that kind of changes who we are as people, as humans, our souls, and we realize that, some values are more important than others. We change priorities, we create new boundaries. Boundaries are also part of living in our truth. It's a huge part of living in our truth, because that's when we let the world know where we are, and you either meet us where we are or we can't meet at all, because our our goal here is to rise, and our soul didn't come here to be measured or forced to prove her worth. She came here for authenticity. That's all she wants. It's the ego that messes with us constantly. So when we talk about let's see. Oh, thank you so much, you're so kind. I hope I just want you to know I can't see the comments. They're so small. I have to put my glasses if I want to see them here. So I just click when I see something new. It's not like I knew that's what's going to happen and I just love myself, but I'm enjoying the compliments. Thank you very much. So, four things that are important in my opinion. And I do want to say that please, if you're here with me live, let me know, what does it mean for you to live in your truth? Like I said, for me, it's that journey of self-discovery and alignment. And it really comes down to four different things that are the core of living in our truth. Authenticity, obviously, integrity, which is so important, um, courage, my beautiful people. It takes courage to live in our truth, and um, self-awareness. Self-awareness, like if you're not aware of yourself, then you don't know what you like, what you don't like, what's important to you, what your values are. So if you're not in that place of self-awareness, and that is courageous enough to follow what you find out about yourself, and follow that place of integrity, and follow that voice of authenticity, you're going to get lost. You will not be able to live your truth. Those four things are the most important things. So I always say, one of the questions is, I believe, and I'll read them in a little bit, but it's like, how can we stay true to ourselves when there's so much noise around us? So to me, the most important way to answer that question, and like not even most important, but like step one in answering that question is this: what's my truth? What is my truth? Because if I don't know my truth, how can I stay in, true to my truth? And how can I stay on my lane and stay focused to that truth that I am trying to live in, right? So that question that I just showed you is the number one question you should ask yourself. You will find out what your values are, right? What's important to you? Kindness, generosity, responsibility, honesty, integrity. There's so many different values. Literally go on Google, give me a list of values, check them, look at them, and see with yourself. And some of our values are values that we grew up with, right? But other values is values that with life journey, with meeting people, with going to experience, we kind of took them upon us and adapted those values to us and became and saw, we saw life without those values and realized how important those values are to us a lot of times. It's like my favorite part of law of attraction. You only know what you want because you know what you don't want. So same thing with the values. You know how life is going to be without that value, so you want to make sure you have that value and you prioritize it. And that's, part of living our truth is honest and authentic communication. I got to speak my truth. I got to say what's on my mind in a way that even when it's uncomfortable to me, and even when it's uncomfortable to the person next to me, I'm still going to speak it, right? Because it's my integrity. It takes courage to speak my truth, yes, but I'm going to say it because it's the way that is my soul language, the authentic way for me to show and make people understand what I'm about. So that's part of it too, that, that conscious communication that really allows me to create a reality around me that aligns with my truth. Um, I'm making conscious decisions about, the actions I take, uh, how I speak. I want to be aware of my feelings and my thoughts. All these things will allow me to understand what my truth is. Let me see here some more comments from us. Hey, Lulu. Hey, Brega. You're going to see Brega later. Well, you're going to see our little video that we did in the kitchen. I'm going to give you a sneak peek in a minute. So I'm going to put his QR code. He's my cinematographer and my videographer. Amazing soul, amazing human being, always living his truth. I appreciate him for that. That's why we can align. And that's another thing. When you live in your truth, you will align with the same kind of people. And that's the important part. So compromising your truth, when you do that, you'll see it. Your friends will look accordingly, your reality would look accordingly, your work would look accordingly. It truly is like that. So if you want to have people around you that have the same values as you, see life the way you do, then stick to your truth, because when you're on that frequency, they can find you. But if you constantly, live your truth for the world because they expect you to, or because you think you should shrink yourself for their idea of what you need to do. And a lot of times we don't live in our truth is because we're becoming more pleasers, and that kind of pattern of behavior sits there and hinder on us living in our truth. Um, Let me see. Another one, I couldn't have said it better myself. I agree with all four. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm happy that resonated with you. Rockstar ready. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Hi, Michael. Um, and let me see in Hebrew. Just like the sentence in Hebrew. כשפי וליבי שווים, זה הבסיס של להיות באמת שלי. Yep. Well, in Hebrew, that sentence just said when, mouth and heart are the same. They're equal. That's when I live my truth. And that's true. I speak what I feel and I feel what I speak, right? So another way of us to be, I put notes, of course, because if not, this hour show is going to be 7 hours. Be okay with not being perfect. Be okay with not being perfect, because we all make mistakes, and for some reason we feel like we need to do or be something else or something different because people expect us to be a certain way, right? So we automatically try to change and adapt ourselves into a specific way of being, so it will be okay with everybody else, because that's what we need to do. That's what the word tells us we need to be. So please always remember, it's okay. Nobody's perfect. You don't need to be perfect. Living in your truth doesn't mean being perfect. A lot of times it means really being ugly. The truth is ugly sometimes, and like that big, that famous sentence, truth hurts. It really does sometimes. And that's why I said self-awareness, because we need to see our own truth. And I'm on a journey right now where I am living and seeing a whole new truth about myself. And I'm going to talk about it probably in a few weeks once I'm done with this journey, because I gave myself a certain amount of time to manifest and live this new journey of mine. But I'm seeing myself in a whole new way, and I'm aware of it, and I'm living in it, and I'm okay with that truth, and I'm embracing that truth because it's okay. I'm not perfect, and I'm not supposed to be perfect, and sometimes my feelings are not, are not the ones that I want to feel, but I got to be honest with myself about them. So if I'm aligned with my thoughts and my feelings and my desires, if I speak them authentically, if I communicate them in a way that serves me, honors my soul, honors my divinity. Like I said before, the soul didn't come here to get approval from anybody. It came here for authenticity. So when this is loud, this needs to be quiet. So that's how we come back to the truth all the time. We find it here within. And so when I tell you this is like what you need to do, where is it? Ask yourself that. Oh, not that, but that. Ask yourself, what's my truth? So, and I said it also that I'm going to give you guys a little exercise. Literally, that's the exercise. I did this, I want to say for the first time, maybe like 12 years ago, or even more, probably 14 years ago. You ask yourself that question for about 4 to 7 days. Every time it pops up to your head. For me, I put post-its around my house just as a reminder so I can keep asking myself that, right? And I just kept asking myself, Lulu, what's your truth? What's your truth, Lulu-Lee? What's your truth? Like that. Constantly ask yourself, what's your truth? When you feel the answer is already there and it's coming up from within, I highly suggest to do that. Take a pad of paper and pen and just start writing. Intuitive writing. Don't even think about what you're writing, because your truth comes from here. So if you want to know what your truth is, and want to know what you believe about yourself, what your desires, what your feelings, what's your thoughts, what are you not willing to compromise, what do you want to prioritize, all these things that actually run your life and run your reality, that place of integrity that is so important so we can achieve the things that we want to, because when we're not in our truth, we will not be able to create the life that we want. I don't care what it is that you want. If you shrink yourself for someone else's opinion or for someone else's comfort, you will stop yourself from getting the stuff that you want, from getting the job you want, from getting the money you want, from getting the relationships that you want, whatever it is that you're trying to create, grow your family, I don't know what it is. It will hinder on it because you're not in the frequency that shows the world and the universe that you own who you are and that you believe in who you are, right? You're compromising. And once you actually align, miracles. And it's not because they're just showing up, it's because literally you stop resisting them. They're always there. You just have to stop resisting them. Okay, so ask yourself, what's your truth? And then when you feel the answer comes within already ready, start writing. You'll be amazed with reading what you wrote. For me, I was on the train. I'll never forget that moment. I was literally on the subway, on my way home on the train, and I just felt like I had enough of asking that question. I know my truth. I know my truth. And I always have a little notebook and a pen. I always have them because sometimes, things come up, ideas come up. So I want to make sure I have where to journal. And I took it out and I started writing. And I was writing like frankly, feverishly. Sorry. And it was just incredible. And I still have it till this day. And I can tell you that what I wrote there is not necessarily what my truth is today either. But the core of it usually stays the same. Our values, most of our values stay the same. And then we adapt and we change. But I'm gonna move into the questions in a minute, of course, because they're all around that. And I would like to give the answers to the beautiful people who wrote me. I appreciate you for that. Let me see. Can self awareness be learned? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's the fact that you're asking that means you're already aware that you are looking to be more aware, if that made sense. Because you constantly try to, if you're on the search of living your truth and becoming better in living your truth, then you're going to have to start becoming more aware of yourself. So you start reminding yourself and asking yourself questions. If something, you don't work on automatic. That's the beautiful part of living your truth. You're not living on automatic. You're living centered. You're living mindful. You're living aware. So when things happen, you have to remind yourself to stop for a second and ask yourself how you feel about that. What does that situation right now or this conversation, what did it bring up? Where my thoughts are. Your thoughts is like your number one thing that you want to be aware of. This box controls us unless we help ourselves to pause and stop it from controlling us. And it's that mind heart body alignment that can help us grow in our self-awareness, but we always have to find the balance. So you, by asking yourself questions regularly and reminding yourself that you want to be more aware of yourself, your actions, your things, how you walk, how you talk, what you say. Look at people around you when you speak or when you act, and look at their reactions to you. That's a great way for self awareness, because you see how people are reacting to the tone of your voice or to your body language. Or that was a big part for me because I used to speak very, very, very aggressively because I grew up with a father that was very aggressive. I still have that and I still work on it. And it's like my dream always to be a fairy and to speak softly. I'm trying to find a balance between my truth, which is, being a powerful woman and, present, and yet still not be bold and aggressive, right? So you try to like understand who you are by people's reaction and by your reaction to yourself, and also like just try to understand if this is your automatic or are you really mindful right now in what you're doing. uh Thank you for that question, Michael. Hi, Joanne. Hi. Yes, know thyself. I know myself. That's beautiful. I'm happy for you. So many don't. All right. Before we're going to go to the questions, I want to go into a quick sneak peek into a segment that you guys are familiar with. Let me play it for. So, we have a wave of wellness, and wellness can be physical, mental, spiritual. That exercise that I just gave you is very much on the mind boosters, right? So, it's a mental exercise. You have to ask and then you have to go. But I want to give you a sneak peek into a different kind of wellness, which is physical wellness. So, I've been on a journey with my health and my eatings and what I eat, how I eat, when I eat. Still in it, full on, and that's I'm going to share about that more in the future. But I had bulimia, which is an eating disorder in the past. I went through a whole change of behavior in my food intake. I gave up a lot of things. I became fully vegan, gave up sugar, but never mind. People always ask me, what do I eat? How do you eat? What is there to eat? Show me how you cook. Oh, it takes so long to be cooking. It takes it. So I want to make sure that you know that you can cook healthy in a short amount of time. And I want to make sure that you give yourself that ability. So I decided to do a quick segment about food. And actually, when I shot it, so I shot it, I think a week ago. And when I shot it, I decided to broadcast it in its full length. I'm not going to broadcast it today. I'm just going to give you a sneak peek. But just so you know when it's coming, it's actually going to be like we're going to have a segment that is going to be part of the show, like a cooking show. It's going to be about 25 minutes because I want you to see. I don't want to do time elapse. I don't want to make it look like, oh, this is so fast. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She had everything prepared. Nothing is prepared. I'm chopping things like a crazy person over there. It's hilarious. I'm talking to you while I'm cooking. My man Brega, that was just here that I told you about, he filmed me. He's my cinematographer. This is him actually. So if you want to connect with him, incredible. You can scan this QR code. It will take you to his IG so you can experience the Brega vibe. Uh, but definitely, when sorry, phone. I always tell my friends if there is any kind of problems in the broadcast, call me so I'll know. So I always have to check. But just a toll free 1-800. Um, so anyway, so yeah, so I did a little sneak peek for you guys. While we were shooting, before we started shooting, we decided to make ourselves a little protein shake. So I filmed that, and this is how it's kind of going to look like in my kitchen. So, welcome to my kitchen. So here we go. Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to my kitchen. So today I'm actually shooting a bunch of food segments for Inspirational Beauty with Lulu-Lee. You know, the vibes every Wednesday morning live, 10 a.m. Eastern time, 7 a.m. Pacific time. But before we start shooting, me and my guy Brega, who is my videographer and cinematographer, figured we got to stay hydrated, right? And get something in the system. So I'm making us a protein shake. So we said, why not film that too? So there's a mix of berries in here, pineapple. I got the plant-based protein powder. I got some flax seeds, chia seeds, and spirulina. That's it. It's going to go with water. I don't really put milk in my protein shakes. They come out nice and smooth anyway. Between what I'm going to put in here, which is 1 tablespoon of chia seed and the flax seed, you're going to get about 7 grams of protein just from these two. And then I got 20 grams of protein from that. So it's a whole meal here while we're starting our morning. I love it. It's smooth, it's yummy, and stay tuned for the results. Now, if I want to make it a little bit yummier, I can add a little pineapple juice. 100% juice. So I don't do refined sugars, but I do natural sugars. So I'm going to add a little bit of pineapple juice. Sometimes I'll add a date. Sometimes if I want a different intake of protein or more fat, I'll put some almonds or walnuts or things like that. Ready? Nice, smooth protein shake to start the day right. Love it. Ready, Breg? Cheers! Mm. Fabulous, yummy, healthy. Later, people. Many blessings. Many blessings. So yeah, so this is what you're gonna expect from the cooking. We're gonna be in my kitchen. I cannot even begin to tell you how much fun we had, how much we left, and how good we ate the day we were shooting. So I got some natural desserts coming for you guys. I got plant-based protein dishes. It's going to be great. I do want to say thank you for one of my sponsors, Classic Material, the t-shirt I was wearing in that video and in that whole segment, so you'll see it again, is my beautiful people, Carlos Loss from Classic Material, the best. It's a hip hop honest New York brand. You can find really great products from there. If you scan this QR code, it'll take you to the website. It's just really cool New York vibe clothing. So thank you for that. I appreciate you. And if you know anybody that is aligned with what I do or look for places to promote themselves and to showcase their product, their book, their anything, here we go. Let's just do that. It'll be easier. So that's it. So you can email me to chat with Lulu-Lee. And also you can email questions for what would Lulu do. And you can email me about anything you want. And if you want to be part of the show, let me know. Would love to have you here as a guest. Tell your story. Everybody has an inspirational beauty story. So yeah, connect with me and let's see a little bit more comments in here. Good morning, beautiful people. Yes. Hey, Dr. Lauren. Love seeing you here. Thank you for being here. This man is the reason I have this show, just so you know. Besides Divine and me, he's the reason this show actually came to be. He's going to be a guest on my show next month, so we can tell you more about it. Looks yummy. Thank you. Thank you. Hello from Tel Aviv. Hello, hello. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Lauren. I appreciate it. Good morning, my love. Hello, Naomi. Good morning. Okay, so let's move to what would Lulu do, which is what we're here for. I did put the questions in front of me. So there were two questions, one that you guys chose in the poll, and the other one that I chose personally from because I really wanted to talk about it. I'm actually going to read both of them because they align and because the subject of the show aligns with the both of them. I felt like it's perfect combo. So I was happy you guys chose that one in the poll because it really aligns beautifully with the question I chose. All right, so let's go for that. Lulu, what would you do in this kind of situation? I'm generally a kind, giving person. I show up, I help, I give more than I probably should. But recently, with a family member, I had to put my foot down. It was one of those enough is enough moments. They didn't take it well, even though all I did was reflect their behavior back to them. Then came the emotional manipulation and pulling in other relatives. And still, I didn't break. The thing is, that's not who I am at my core. That's not how I usually operate, but I had to protect myself. So I'm wondering, would you have stood your ground or would you have softened in the name of peace? How do you stay strong without losing your essence? So that's our first question. And thank you so much for sharing the truth with me and sharing your heart and looking to hear my perspective on it. I appreciate you for that. As I said, the second question that you guys chose aligned with it. So I'm going to read that one too so we can get an answer about both things at the same time. How do you stay true to your inner voice when the world around you is so loud? So I'm assuming you can see the alignment between those two. So let me start by saying that when it comes to family matters, it really is always harder than just, a friend or a work issue, because those people, it's like, yeah, okay, whatever, even though sometimes friends are more than family, right? But when it's family, it always feels harder because we're related and because their opinion matters to us. We grew up with them. There are little habitat that we grew up with, so we care about their opinion, right? But that's where the problem starts. The world has this tendency of teaching us who we need to be, right? So they give us all these roles we have to take on. You should be like this, you should be that, these masks we need to put on in order to make sure that everybody's happy. We need to maybe not be so loud, maybe, always say that we're good, minimize ourselves, don't do this, don't be too much of this, don't be too less of this. People want to mold you in a way that is pleasant for them, that is convenient for them, for their truth, which is not necessarily your truth. And a lot of times they don't even know their truth, but they're living from an ego, and their convenient is more important because they are, looking for outside validation all the time. So they want to make sure that everybody around them fits what the world around them asks or expect them to be, if that makes sense. So when it comes to family and when it comes to us trying to find our truth within our family after we were taught so many different things on how to be and who we need to be. For example, I grew up, if you guys are part of the show and been here for 11 episodes already, you know that I grew up with a father that had a brain injury. So after the accident, everybody always told me to be good, be a good girl, be a good girl, okay? So my dad is not going to get mad. So my mom is not going to be, it's not going to be harder for her, So just be a good girl, just be a good girl. So I learned that being quiet, not speaking my desires, not talking about what I want, having a ball of anxiety within my system constantly means being good. So that's what I became for a long time. I was that kind of be good type of girl, And we all know how that can end up. Of course, a rebellion teenager that went crazy. And my mom realized that I'm not good at all, But that's part of the journey. And that's part of us finding our truth. So in your case, right, and I'm going to go back to the question, you felt like enough is enough, which means you already passed your boundaries a little bit just to make everybody happy. You said you always give, you're always kind, you're always there for everybody. So you wanted to make sure that, it stays good. And you stretched it as long as you could until enough is enough. And of course, when you're going to put your foot down, it's inconvenient to those who need you to behave the way is comfortable to them, right? That's why I always say being, self-love is not selfish. We are not here to entertain other people's issues. I'm not here to become, the glorifier of your craziness by me being quiet and shrinking myself down so you can feel good about what you do and who you are. So when it comes to those kind of moments and you actually speak your truth and people turn on you, that's when you can really see your truth and not shrink yourself. I wouldn't stop and go back to making, taking my boundary away just to keep the peace. I wouldn't, because it will cost me my peace. And if you're talking about your essence, and you said, in your question, it's not part of who I am, it's not my essence. Your essence is kindness. Your essence is beauty. Your essence is peace. Your essence doesn't need to be compromised by someone else's issues just because they don't appreciate your truth. Your essence is your truth. So by following that boundary, by following that truth, you are standing in your essence. When you take away from your truth and you actually change up the whole situation and change up who you are in that situation, so everybody else will be okay and will be happy, that's when you lose your essence, my love. So it's the exact contrary. Stop, worried, apologizing for your boundaries. Stop apologizing about your voice. Stop apologizing about your tears, about your fear. Stop apologizing about Anything, that you say no because yes will betray your soul. Don't apologize for that. If they don't like it, they don't like it. And I know it's hard because it's family, and especially when they bring more people into it. But you stay your ground and you'll see. I promise you, things will come along better. And sometimes we have to stay away from family members too, because if they don't align with our truth, then we don't need to be there because it will compromise our reality. You will not be able to have the things that you want for yourself because by you apologizing and by us basically shrinking ourselves, again, like I said, or making excuses, right? Apologizing as if our existence need permission. We really tell the universe that we are somewhat of a burden in here. And that's the frequency we're going to be on. And a frequency of a burden is not a frequency of miracles. So if I want to create a reality that will bring me everything I want, I have to align myself with my truth, with my values, with my belief, with the integrity, with my authentic self, with all those things, understand my feelings, understand my desires, stand behind them, and make sure I really am, living in this truth moment and not compromising it for someone else's benefit. I have more comments in here, so let me see. June. Hi, June. Thank you so much for being here. Let me see. We have to rid ourselves of those masks and don't get boxed in to make others feel better about themselves and making yourself small. Amen to that. Absolutely. I love that. Let me see what Dr. Lawrence said. I have dealt with this so many times over the years, and it caused me to shrink within my own soul, within my own spirit. I never do that anymore. I do exactly as the childhood song. Oh, wait, I need my glasses for the rest. As the childhood song instructions. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that so much. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, June. I love you too. I appreciate you for being here. Um, Amazing. You're amazing, Dr. Lauren. Let me see. Brega says, this all came right on time. Sacrificing your energy to appease another's is blasphemy. Man, listen. Say it louder for the people in the back. Thank you so much. And it's like when we apologize for the things really that don't align with us, we drain our soul, right? Your past, your pain, your everything that you've been through should not be something that is a fault, should not be something that you should be ashamed of, should not be something that holds you back. On the contrary, it should be the fire that lights up your awakening. That's and another answer for Michael. You asked, how can you, if self-awareness can be taught? Yes, allow all your experiences to ignite the fire into your awakening because the ego screams when the fire is burning, but the soul sings, baby, because she knows growth is coming right around the corner, and she knows that we are coming into our own in this process. So allow yourself to be exactly who you are. Love yourself for your experiences. Love yourself for you're crazy. Even when you feel on those days that you feel like it's not aligning with you, that's okay. It's part of the journey. That's why I started by saying, living our truth is a journey. It's not like a destination. Oh, let me get there. No, no. It's part of your everyday, and you'll be tested with it, and you'll feel it, and you'll see it, and you'll understand it. But you're going to have to constantly be aware of your feelings, of your desires, of your thoughts, so you can stay in your in integrity, so you can stay in that space of yours that that gives you the ability to live your truth and to speak up about it without being scared of what other people say. And that's a huge part of living in our truth too, letting go of the outcome and letting go of external validation. Don't worry about what other people has to say. They have their own shit. Trust me. Everybody has their package. And yet people come at you as if you're doing wrong. Yeah, because it's like we're trying and we're shrinking our light for those who still live in the darkness of separation. You know what I mean? They're constantly putting things on us and making the separation, like you said. Now they're bringing more family members into it, creating more separation. They're stuck in their own darkness, and we're here trying to live in our light, and we're going to let them dim our light? For what? So remind yourself, you're okay with where you are. Your boundaries are part of your essence. Your kindness is part of your essence. Don't let them drag you into the nonsense. Don't let them drag you into fighting. You don't have to fight. You don't have to argue. Let them talk. Let them bring more family members. You don't have to explain your truth to anybody. You don't have to explain your soul, your spirit, your boundaries, your way of being. Don't apologize for it. It's who you are. Stand strong in it. If they want to come through with it, let them. If they don't, they got to be where they got to be, and you go be where you're going to be. And trust me, they're going to be like, oh, you're the reason why the family's like that. No, honey, you are. And it won't bother you because you know your truth. And that's the most important part. It won't bother you. It won't touch you. All that poison that they spew on you and bringing more relatives trying to make you feel bad about the situation, it's not going to touch you because you know your truth. I tell it to my kids. Oh, he said that. Even between them, they fight. I'm telling you, it's in the littlest thing and then it's the biggest things. They fight between them, and my son is like, well, she said. I said, did you do it? No, but there's no but then. Then you know your truth. What do you care? Why you let her get to you? Same thing. You know your truth. Don't let anybody get to you. So when the world around us is so noisy, that's how we stay true to ourselves because we know our values. We already figured out how we feel and what we think about and how it looks like from within. We know the song of our spirit, right? Nobody can take that. And that's how we stay strong in it. I want to read more another comment, and then I have another quote for you guys too. As much as it is hard to think about detaching ourselves from family members, sometimes it's worth it. Talking from self experience. Thank you for sharing. Yes, I know I've done that too. Listen, I've disconnected from family members, and then we came back together after everybody reevaluated their values and priorities. And it can take time, but it's okay because throughout that time, you're staying in your truth and you know you're doing what aligns with your soul. And that should always lead you. Like I said before, your soul came here not for approval, for authenticity. So stay in your authentic self. Don't compromise that. Um, I took another quote. Let me see where it is. I think that's it right here. Healing begins when you stop apologizing for what hurts. Freedom begins when you stop pretending you're not bound. Power begins when you stop seeking permission to be who you already are. Can I get an amen in the chat for that? Just remind yourself that sometimes you don't need to have all the answers, right? And that's the part where we talk about, how I'm feeling my truth when the world around me is so noisy. Like, you don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to listen and not to listen to the noise, to listen to what's going on within. That's how you can upgrade and rise. You're here to rise. Always. That's what the soul is here to do. And it can only do that through, sticking to our values and what's important to us. I wrote myself some notes. I don't want to get lost. I want to make sure I said everything. Listen, I love this. I wrote to myself, you don't have to be perfect. You have to be present. That's a good one. And your truth lives where you eliminate the noise, right? So that's where your power waits. That's where God meets you. And it's not in an apology, but in authenticity. Sometimes I write really good notes, but when I talk, I get lost. So, yeah, and like I said before, your past doesn't define you. So don't let that be what holds you back. And oh, you used to be like that. All of a sudden, you're this and this. Family, friends, everybody got always an opinion. Let them, let them. You know who you are. And if you don't, do that exercise. Here, I'm going to put it here again. Ask yourself that over and over again. What's my truth? After you ask yourself long enough, start writing it down and you'll figure it out. Your values will be everything to you and you'll prioritize your truth above all. I cannot tell you how many uncomfortable conversations and uncomfortable situations I put myself in because I spoke my truth and I didn't care. Because above all, I wasn't willing to compromise my truth. I lost friends, I lost family members. I lost money. I can't even tell you how many gigs I didn't take just or canceled or literally sent people their money back just because, man, no, sorry, can't work with you. We don't, there's no alignment here. I don't align with the way you speak, with the way you act, with the way you are. You think I lost anything? I lost nothing. I just gained. I gained personal truth, personal strength, personal power. I gained my divinity, knowing, listen, we are all made out of this beautiful fabric that is called God. You are God. We are all God. I'm not letting anybody take that away from me. I'm not letting them make me believe something else or less about me. You want to act like that? You act like that. And the best part is, I know your divinity too. So while I stick to my truth, I'm going to love you from afar too. And I'll send compassion and I'll rise while still loving you from afar. But I'm not going to put myself down. I'm not going to keep myself stagnant and I'm not going to shrink myself. Not for you and not for anybody else. I hope this answer gives you some clarity, some value, another way to see the situation. I truly hope I served you well with my perspective on living in our truth, on, even when it's family, truly, I know how hard it is, but stick to your guns. Stick to your guns, beautiful. Um, Let me see. I have a couple. Oh, yes, I got an amen. Thank you. Thanks, Gal. Let me see who's here. Amen to that. Ooh, I got a lot of amen. I love it. I love it. I was in my flow. I didn't even see all these. Yes, yes. Uh, you guys are so kind. Thank you so much. Yes. Way to go, Lily. Thank you, beautiful Joanne. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Listen, another show is coming to a close. I can't believe it. It really, it always flies. I'm boiling. I don't know if do I look just radiant or do I look sweaty because I can't have my air conditioner or my fan on because it's loud. Every hour in here, Wednesday morning, I'm dying. So just know the sacrifice I'm putting for you guys. I am melting from the inside, but I'm here for it. We're troopers, right? I appreciate you. Next week is gonna be another great show. I'm not going to tell you what it's going to be. I'm just going to tell you it's going to be a great show and you're going to have to see. No, it's really going to be amazing. We're going to talk about the swan effect. And my guest has the most heartbreaking yet inspiring story that you will hear. I promise you, I spoke to her. I couldn't stop crying. She lost her daughter, her young daughter, and her whole life changed from that position and from that tragic moment, yet into something that is so inspiring and so beautiful. You have to be here for this conversation. You don't want to miss it. Um, I am appreciating of you being here. Let me put that. First of all, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you're here from Facebook or YouTube or E360 or Roku, wherever you are, jump onto the YouTube real quick. show me some love, subscribe. I'm really trying to grow the channel so we can do more of this. I told you already, you can contact me and connect with me on social media. If you have something you want to share, chat with Lulu-Lee. I would love to hear from you guys. It's silly little things like this. Listen, I have this. I decided, right? It's kind of like a thing where we see every single day. Click the link. You have that little airplane. Click on that. Put the email in, chat with Lulu-Lee. It's easy to remember. Just share with me things, so I'll have more things to bring you here on the show. I'm going to keep doing those What Would Lulu Do episodes, because you guys really send me really great questions. And again, I'm so appreciative of it. I'm so appreciative of your time. I always tell you that it's the one commodity that I can never get back. You can never get back, and you choose to spend your time with me. So I really appreciate you for that. Wow, Joanne said she left her family 12 years ago. That is incredible. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to be kind to yourself and to others. Don't forget to always show really. If you have a choice between being kind or being right, that's ego. Don't be right. Be kind. It's always better. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you again next week. Later, my beautiful people. Thank you again. I hope this episode brought some clarity and some inspiration to you. All right. I'll see you next week. Many blessings.
Show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love, show me love.